People say love is blind, and sometimes real incidents prove that it truly is. Teenage love, that attraction mixed with the chaos of hormonal changes, often clouds a person's ability to think clearly. In that phase, people don't think about the consequences, they just follow their emotions, and sometimes, that one step ruins their entire life. Something very similar happened to a girl named Urmila, who lived in the slums of Delhi. When the first rays of the sun touched the tin rooftops of the old colony, another day of struggle began. In one of those narrow, crooked lanes lived Urmila, a 16-year-old girl who had matured far too early fighting life's battles. Her mother, Sharda, worked as a maid in a bungalow in an upscale area, and Urmila supported her by teaching small kids for a little money. Most people in their slum worked as daily wage laborers, some drove rickshaws, some worked in construction, while women did household chores in nearby colonies. Urmila had her own small dreams. She was beautiful, but her real charm was her smile, a smile filled with pure innocence. And when a teenage girl is both beautiful and innocent, many boys start watching her closely. In that slum, too many boys had their eyes on Urmila, but she was never interested in any of them. Her life revolved around studies, work, and her mother. What she didn't realize was that her simplicity would one day become the reason for her destruction. In the next lane lived a boy named Akash, her age, mischievous and a little emotional. He was always seen with his two close friends, Rohit and Lavish. The trio was inseparable. The first time Urmila met Akash, she thought of him as just a friendly boy who liked to talk a lot. But soon, their paths began to cross more often, while returning from tuitions at tea stalls, or in the lanes near their homes. Between their colonies ran a dry drain, dirty, muddy, but often used as a shortcut. Large stones had created a kind of crossing there, and behind some big rocks was a secluded spot where no one came. Gradually, that place became their meeting spot. Over time, their friendship turned into something deeper. Urmila didn't realize when she started falling in love with Akash. He too seemed to feel the same, or at least he made her believe that he did. 6 months passed like this. They met secretly at different spots, in the evening playground, outside the grocery shop, or near that same drain behind the colony. Sometimes Akash's friends Rohit and Lavish would join them, joke around, laugh and leave. Then came the night of Navratri. For the slum, Navratri wasn't just a festival, it was a pure celebration. Every night, the whole colony gathered for Gibra and Dandiya. That night, Urmila came dressed beautifully, a yellow dupatta, pink salwar and fresh jasmine in her hair. Akash saw her and called her aside quietly, "Come with me, I need to talk." She hesitated for a moment, then smiled and said, "Okay, just give me 2 minutes." Both of them walked away from the music and lights toward the dark drain, to the very rock where they often met. The entire colony was busy celebrating, and the drain area was silent and deserted. Sitting close together, Akash took her hand and said softly, "I love you, Urmila." She smiled and whispered, "I love you too." In that moment, they were lost in each other, unaware that someone else was watching them. Suddenly, they heard rustling in the bushes. Before Urmila could react, a mocking voice came, "Oh ho, what a scene!" Startled, she turned. It was Rohit and Lavish. Terrified, she stood up and shouted, "What kind of joke is this?" She looked at Akash for help, but Akash only smiled. "This isn't a joke," he said coldly, "it was a plan." Her world collapsed in that instant. "Akash, you can't do this to me," she cried. But he looked at his friends, then back at her and said, "I already have." The three of them laughed, and what happened next was unspeakable. They violated her, destroyed her like wild animals. And when they feared getting caught, they smashed her head with a stone. Afterwards, they changed their clothes and returned to the Dandiya ground, laughing, dancing, pretending like nothing had happened. When Urmila didn't return home, her mother searched everywhere. The 3 boys even pretended to help. But when the police arrived, all 3 suddenly disappeared. The next morning, Urmila's body was found near the drain, head crushed, clothes torn. The entire colony was shocked. Her mother, who had only 1 daughter, was shattered beyond repair. Days passed. Weeks passed. And then, strange things began to happen in that colony. At night, people heard the sound of anklets, as if someone was walking through the empty lanes. Sometimes they heard bangles clinking softly in the dark. Those who crossed the drain after sunset claimed they felt someone's presence there. But the 3 boys ignored the rumors. They believed the police would never find evidence against them. Then one night, a woman named Rena who worked as a maid returned home late. She was walking alone through that same drain path. The night was still and cold. Halfway through, she heard the faint jingle of anklets behind her. She turned, but no one was there. Her heart raced. She walked faster. Then she felt someone right behind her, breathing heavily. Terrified, she ran home, slammed the door shut, and burst into tears. She told her mother what she heard. Her mother comforted her, saying it was just her imagination. But that night something else happened. As Rena lay in bed, she suddenly stiffened, her face twisted, her voice turned strange. She screamed, "Why did you kill me? What was my fault? Why did you kill me?" The voice wasn't hers. It was someone else's, deep, broken, filled with pain. Her mother tried to hold her, but Rena pushed her away violently, knocking things over. Neighbors rushed in, shocked to see a frail girl overpowering men. Suddenly she stopped struggling. Her breathing calmed. Her eyes turned still cold. She looked upward and whispered, "Didn't you recognize me? I am Urmila." The entire house froze. "I was betrayed. They took my life," she said, "but I won't rest until they pay." Then, with a piercing scream, she collapsed unconscious. From that night, fear gripped the entire colony. No one dared to walk near that drain after dark. The three boys grew restless. Akash couldn't sleep. He kept hearing anklets and whispers at night. Rohit's dog growled at him for no reason. His bike would start on its own. Lavish stopped talking altogether and spent hours sitting silently near a temple. They all knew Urmila's spirit hadn't moved on. Terrified, they brought a local tantric, a cult priest, to perform rituals and seal the area. The priest lit incense, recited mantras and hammered iron nails around the colony, claiming no spirit could now enter. For a few days everything seemed calm. So the boys decided to end this once and for all. They offered the priest money to accompany them to the drain where Urmila was killed, to trap her spirit permanently. That night the four of them reached the same spot. The priest lit a small lamp and began chanting. Moments later, a sudden gust of wind blew the lamp out. Before anyone could react, a blood-curdling scream echoed. The priest panicked and ran for his life. The three boys tried to flee, but Lavish tripped and fell behind. Akash and Rohit didn't dare go back. Later, when people found Lavish, he was lying unconscious, face pale, body ice-cold, eyes frozen in terror. When he regained consciousness, he screamed endlessly, "She'll kill me! She'll kill me!" The next morning, the police arrived. After questioning, evidence pointed toward Akash, and soon, all three boys were arrested. They were sent to jail pending trial. Another priest was brought to bind Urmila's spirit within that drain. Her mother later withdrew the case, perhaps out of fear or maybe she was paid off. The boys were released for lack of proof. But people still say that Urmila's spirit roams near that drain. During Navratri nights, her presence becomes stronger. Some say she waits for those three boys to return. They've long left the area. But Urmila remains, bound to that cursed place. And even today the question lingers, will Urmila ever get justice? Or will her soul keep waiting in silence for revenge? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Until next time, keep loving and keep listening.